This is the key for the car. This is the old one still. They're gonna have the new one like the rest of the line starting from next year. Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm testing the 2018 Mercedes Benz C43 AMG. So this is like a real AMG in a sense, but doesn't have the full V8. This one have actually a V6 3.0 twin turbocharged. The engine is very light, you know, as a V6 3.0 it's still a big engine. It's made from aluminium, the blocks and the heads. This car is actually 4MATIC. It gives 61% power to the rear axle, 31% to the front axle. There's a lot of slip and power go to the rear, so that makes the car more lively. And of course, since it's four-wheel drive, there's gonna be grip all over the time. It's a pretty good option actually from Mercedes Benz. They are going for four-wheel drive. Most of the manufacturers, they're gonna do the same. Even BMW, they started with the X-Drive, or they have the Quattro. You know, companies feel that they're gonna put a lot of that performance on the actual street, and therefore the 4MATIC is really helpful. This car produces 362 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 520 Nm torque at 2,000 RPM. It have, of course, the 9-speed automatic gearbox, which shown that it's very fast and very good, you know, compared to their dual clutch gearbox. On the previous model, which had lots of difficulties, and when downshifting, upshifting on the right time, there's always gonna be delay. And this one, it's much better, and definitely it saves some weight. Talking about the weight, the car weighs 1,772 kilograms, which is put it very close to the RS5, but still a bit heavier than the 4 Series, almost by 100 to 150 kilograms. So I'm driving the car now in comfort mode. I'm gonna put it right away in sport, and there's Sport Plus. Unlike the C43, it have even race mode, which is a bit of lunatic mode for sure. But Sport Plus is pretty good mode. I tested before. We will see on this car a bit later on. See, that engine is very nice, because AMG, they're actually using it in different series now, from the GLC, GLE, and God, it pulls, man. I'm very happy to see that the car here today have the Alcantara steering wheel, which is the AMG performance steering wheel. Man, it's very nice looking steering wheel. Even this is the older models, not the new ones, but still very nice, and the quality is amazing. My first impression, the Sports Plus ride, it's very hard, like really bumpy, you know, and comfort is very lazy. I think sports will take the road better, but I'm interested to see about the body control later. I put it in manual mode as well. You can turn it on and off anytime you want, just the press of the button here, central console. So 9 gears, man. For manual mode, you have to get used, you know, it's not something that you see every day now. 7 gears, still, you know, it feels like 5th, which is 7. So 8, 9 for sure, they are more like driving and cruising to save gas inside the town or highway. This car revs to 6,600 RPM. Let's see on the curve here. Body control. Nice, man. It's really tight, man. Hear the sand coming. Some body roll there, but still can hold the curves pretty nice. Exhaust sound good, engine sounds good. No fake, nothing coming to the cabin. On the upshifts, pretty instant, but not so clicky. Downshift, Very nice. See those wheels, they are 19 inches. Brakes are good as well. Sitting here is very familiar place for sure. I drove this C200. I'm gonna link it below. In comfort mode, it's very soft, man. It takes those speed humps very well, actually. I'm very impressed. I mean, sitting here again, I believe the central console of the C-Class, they start to look a little bit older for me, especially when I saw the S-Class and the E-Class, how they integrated both the S and the C together. So what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna put it in Sport Plus mode. Exhaust is louder, the car feels more, you know, angry. Suspension in Sport Plus is pretty good. Very strange, you know. This one, guys, the actual RPM was 5,500 and I did not want to shift, but it gave me a red that I need to shift it, and it was too early for a shift. So that means because the gear shift is not really instant, you need to sometimes to change the gear a little bit before. Very strange. Not really sure about why it's telling me that I need to shift the gear a bit earlier than I wanted. Don't know why Mercedes, they still have the same kind of issue. Why they want you to change the gear whenever the car feels like it. I mean, they must give you full control of that. Definitely, man, there's a lot of noise from that V6. Impressive. So growly and loud. Power. I mean, this one has 362, as I said earlier, but the 2019 model, they're gonna be 390. Mind you, though, the torque is gonna remain the same. I mean, 28 more horsepower is gonna make a huge difference. So you see what I mean? It doesn't give me the confidence to rev it to the red RPM. And if you change it on the 5,500, 6,000, the gear shift is pretty good. But if you want to rev it, it doesn't give you the option much. It just feels like, you know, no. It's like telling you, you need to change the gear, man. You can't rev it that much. Definitely you can feel the power goes to the back. It feels like a rear-wheel drive that put the power on the floor very well and grippy. It's a very good sensation here. Something that I don't have a doubt at all, that AMG know how to make an engine sounds great and an exhaust sounds aggressive. Whether it's a V4, V6, V8, whatever, their engines sound the best. It's lively, it's growly, it has crackles and bubbles, everything. has sound on 120 and I cannot, I mean, disable it because it's not my car, but you can disable it, I believe. 4MATIC is very creepy. Those AMG engineers, man, they really need to train the rest how to make an exhaust sound. People are driving very slowly, guys. We can overtake them. I did not talk much negative things about this car, and because believe me, there is not really much things negative to talk about the car. I think the character of the engine, it fits better with the dual clutch, even this automatic, but it have to be snappy. Any turbocharged car, you have to have a very fast gearbox. I mean, if you have a manual, maybe because of the gear shift, you're not gonna be that instant as the dual clutch, so you don't really care much if there is a lag. But in that case, definitely you must have a very snappy and responsive gearbox. Lovely sound. Body control in Sport Plus is pretty good. The car doesn't move too much, you know, and bounces. Yes, I understand why they want to increase 28 more horsepower, because I think this car could definitely get at least 50 more horsepower. With that engine, you can, I don't think AMG will struggle to get more power out of this. The question is, how do you compare this to the S5, which is I drove some months before? Well, the S5 looks better, this is my opinion, and the interior of AUDI, again, this is the best interior in the segment, but quality of the ride, this is better. Surprisingly, that suspension control, it makes a huge difference. You can feel a little bit of body roll in the S5 compared to this one here, but the major motive to make you choose this one over the S5 is definitely the character of the car, you know, the sound of the engine, the exhaust. Trust me, after 10,000 kilometers, the car will sound much better as well. There's some character for this car. I mean, before I drove it, I was saying, oh man, this is just a V6 from AMG. It's not gonna be the full AMG car, so it's not gonna feel and sounds great. But I was wrong. So now I really understand why they came up with that model to fill up that market, you know. You tend to sit a bit high, and even I put the seats as low as I can compared to the BMW and the Audi. The car feels that you're sitting much higher, but because the seats are very comfortable and very adjustable, and the steering wheel as well, you know, grip position and adjustability, it's very good, so you don't really get bothered, you know what I mean? Going the interior, guys, as you know, I'm a big fan of the steering wheel. It's something that you hold all the time, the most, and the pedals, of course. So the steering wheel here is made from Napa leather and Alcantara on the sides. It's nice stitching as well. I believe those are the standard black. You can, you know, have them in different color if you want to. AMG logo there. This is the previous steering wheel from AMG, the revised steering wheel that you see on the S-Class, E-Class and the C-Class. It's not here yet. It's gonna be there in the 2019 model. The pedal shifters are fixed on the steering wheel. They're made from aluminium. They don't laminate like the Audi there, but you have it down and you have the up there, and they feel very good. They're very clicky, and they, you know, I love them. I mean, very solid, good quality. The mirror, of course, is fixed on the door, which is very sporty. That triangle here is from blind spot. I mean, it's fixed on the mirror. The Mercedes has been doing that for some time, and it's functional, but Audi do it better. Stitching there, hard plastic, but still stitching, which is cool. You have the, you know, soft leather there. You have a nice chunk of aluminium here. You know, you see that seating positions that you can adjust, you know. Yeah, I mean, really nice. 3 memory seats as well. This is heating seat, not the ventilated one. I don't need the heated, it's too hot already. Nice quality for the door. Lock and unlock, they're hidden there. You can control the windows from here, the trunk, and then you can control the mirrors from here. Barometer sound system, it's very good, much better than the Harman Kardon there. Nice speakers, they're everywhere. You have all the driving aid here, like Mercedes, they do that. Lane assist, parking, 360 camera, and this is the head-up display. Now lights are all fully controllable from here, of course. Handbrake parking, which is located here. I'm a big fan of the analog cluster there. I mean, they're very clear and you have a big screen in the middle, and the animation is the best. I mean, Mercedes do it very nicely. I love it. You have the gas mileage here. You can control all of this function in the middle screen by pressing up and down. You have the eco display mode, the range of the car, and it's very responsive. And the best part of all of this that it's actually keep changing based on your driving dynamics. Speedometer, and from start how much you spend gas. You press the back button here and you can navigate through trip, navigation, radio. So you have the shortcuts as well on the screen. I love the AMG mode, man, here. Really nice. And you still have the speedometer there on up, so I really like this mode. It's my favorite. Voice command and home button screen, telephone. You can take it and you can close it. There's two buttons for the telephone, and the mute button and the volume control. Going to the central console, again, this is a new screen. It's a bit bigger than the previous one. It's still fixed on the dashboard. Start and stop button here. The vents are all circular, and they do have, you know, kind of solid feeling. The shortcut buttons here for the AC, I mean, they look pretty good, but I'm not a bigger fan anymore. I don't know why they look kind of plain. You have the shortcuts again for navigation, radio, media, telephone, and the vehicle settings and the hazards. You can control all of this menu here from the wheel knob. This is touchpad again. It's pretty responsive. I don't know why they kept it here. I prefer they do it and not here. Just remove this one heavy gear leader maybe, instead of having it there on the steering wheel, which is very old, man, and it just did not change for years. If they do it here again and they put the the touch control here, it'll be nice, like the Audi and BMW. I have some problems with the Mercedes one for sure. They tend to be not so responsive like the others, but dynamic settings of the car, you definitely have individual configuration here. I put everything in Sport Plus. I mean, look, you can put the driver mode in different settings. Even the climate control you can change. That's crazy. Eco start stop button, I mean, it's always gonna be off. Steering, Sport Plus. It's a nice touch for the individual mode. Everything you wanna go back, you just press that back button. Cup holders, they're adjustable, they're good size. In ashtray, you can put coins there. AMG have it carbon fiber or glossy black, and there's AMG logo there, but it's nice that you can close it so the design looks better now. Here you can control the settings of the car by pressing up and down. Nice click to the bottom. It's individual mode, you can adjust it as we saw earlier. This is Sport Plus. You have Sport and Comfort. You can hear the exhaust rumble goes down as soon as you put it in Comfort, and Eco mode is just, I don't know who uses it. So individual all the way. You can see both displays at the same time, here and there. This is the manual mode that you can press one time in order to take it from automatic to manual. You adjust the suspension here. You have Comfort. You call it ride control. It's not a sports suspension, so you can have it Comfort, Sport, and Sport Plus. Traction control, handling both sport if you keep pressing on it. The volume knob, I mean, I wish they use it for a different purpose. Seat belt, you press it, it will come to you. This function for start and stop, to hold your brake basically, turn off the screen. Storage is pretty good, guys. It's really deep, and it have 2 USBs and SD card, and even there is Wi-Fi charging here, but I mean, you must have the right phone. Location wise it's not so great, but size wise amazing. Those are the sports seats in red, very comfortable. Side bolsters, they're okay. Rear view is a bit tight because of the shape of the car. You can control all the lights from here, guys. They're not LEDs. You can control them individually. You have a storage for sunglasses, which is cool. Roof, it's panoramic, so it's a full roof, which is great. It gives so much light for the car. You can turn it off and on. You press on it, it will open. I love panoramic roofs. Press again, it will close. Wait for it. You can control the blinds, the sunshades, as much as you like. It's very hot, so we'll close it. It gives a lot of light to the car. even when the sun shade is off. So that's the interior for you guys. Driving this car is definitely give you a lot of pleasure. It have a very nice engine. It's very luxurious. It looks very nice as well. The exhaust sounds fabulous, and you know, it's comfortable if you need it. It's a very nice car, really. It sits in the segment, competing with the S5 and different cars in that category. There's a lot of things to like about this car for sure. So let me break it down for you. From the engine, as I said, it's a very powerful engine. That V6 producing 362, hopefully 390 in the new model. It's very responsive. This engine have a lot of revs as well. It revs very high. The only thing that makes the car is less responsive is that gearbox. It's a bit of lazy for me. I want it more snappy, more aggressive. But don't think it's slow at any time. I think Mercedes, they are working on the right track. The gearbox is much better than before. It's still not as good as the Audi and the BMW. The steering feedback, it's very precise and it's very good. It's a bit light again for my taste, even in sports mode. But it's not a numb steering wheel at all. I wish they had the Sports Plus function to make it even heavier. Maybe because I get used on the M4, which is already in the comfort mode. It's very, very heavy. In Sports Plus, it's like wrestling, you know, the steering wheel. Suspension, I think Mercedes AMG, they always do the ride control better than many other companies. Putting comfort, driving from point A to point B, it's very comfortable. It's very well isolated as well. I did not hear much tire noise or wind noise. I was very impressed with the quality of the isolations of the car. It's pretty good. So, and the suspension, because it doesn't really have too much body roll and absorbs the bumps very well. So it's pretty good actually. You know, you don't feel much interrupted by your driving, you know, or your surrounding. When you put it in sports mode, the car responds better with the curves, the steering wheel, the whole car just feels, you know, more settled in, more grippy. If you put in Sports Plus, it starts to become very bumpy, but the body roll tend to be the best in that function. In the competition in that range, the C43 definitely sounds the best. It's really good sounding car, guys, really good. It's a V6 and the AMG always doing tremendous, amazing job. I'm gonna put the window down and drive it for you. This car is very luxurious. You get all the personal driving aids that you like. You have the luxury, you have the sound system, you have the exhaust. It looks pretty good. It's functional, it's fast. This is a great car and it's not too expensive. I mean, up to 320,000 dirhams was most of the functions and the options. I mean, this car is pretty reasonable. Will I get it over the C63? I don't think so. I mean, the other one, it's on a different league. Just because of the engine and the sound and the power, the exhaust. I mean, there's more functions inside, the fenders, the width of the car, the wheels. I mean, if you're just the interior guy, definitely this one, and the other one, you're not gonna feel much difference. Even you have the AMG performance seats as an option on both cars. I like to go to the highest model. Doesn't mean better for others, but for me, yes, it makes a difference. You're always gonna drive on the road, feel that there's some car better than you. I mean, it's a choice. Some people, yes, because they cannot afford higher end models, they go for somewhere in the medium. I'm so interested to see the later model 2018 because there is more power, 390. There is a revised LED in the front. They have the new steering wheel, even a revised interior, a bigger screen. You can actually order the digital cluster as well, which is very nice, really. The exhaust now, they are like, you know, round instead of this weird shape there. A revised aerodynamic package, a wing, spoiler, a bigger diffuser. So they stepped it up really, you know, because that 390 horsepower, 520, now maybe the car makes more sense than this one. So that's my review for today, guys. I'll see you very soon. Take care.